Hey everybody, this is State Representative Gary Day, and thanks for watching my program today. I'm here at the Pennsylvania Farm Show in Harrisburg, and this farm show has been going on for many, many years, and it helps our farmers and other people involved in the agriculture industry to put out all of their, whatever it is, animals, food products, everything, to put everything out there and show the people, let the public come in and see different things, animals they might not be able to see, how we handle animals, how farmers handle and raise crops in the field. And the Pennsylvania Farm Show is a great thing to go to. If you can get down to Harrisburg, call my office. I'll give you information on how to get there either this year or next year. But it's once a year, every year, and it's a great time right in the beginning of January to start out the new year. Also at the Pennsylvania Farm Show, we have many different organizations that are involved in the farm show. One of them is the 4-H program in Pennsylvania. And with me today, Kelly, you want to explain what you do, what your title is, what you do in Lehigh County, and anything else you do statewide with 4-H?
Sure. So I'm Kelly Wiesner. I'm with Lehigh County 4-H program. I am the coordinator for Lehigh County, and we have 67 counties in the state. So there are 67 programs across Pennsylvania that do 4-H. So one of the great things about 4-H is that it's open for kids that are ages 5 to 18, and boys and girls. So we span all generations, all ages, as well as all interests and ability levels. So we're really excited to be able to be part of the farm show as well.
So one of the things, when you say all interests and all ability levels, it's something that parents get to see. When you have multiple children of your own, you can see each child has a different interest. Each child has different strengths and weaknesses. And 4-H is a program that you can enroll your kid into. They get a chance to sample and see different types of things. Can you tell everybody about something that, or a couple of the programs that, maybe receive a lot of interest?
Sure. So one of our biggest programs is our programs related to agriculture, because we're one of the only organizations that has agriculture programs, especially in our part of the state. So we have people who are interested in livestock and horses and growing plants and vegetables, because it's something that they can't really learn in school. Maybe mom and dad have an interest, or maybe they don't. But even if they do or don't, they can join 4-H and learn about some of those things. So our livestock programs and our equine programs are really great. Some kids own their own animals, and other kids can lease animals. So even if kids don't have an animal of their own, or they don't have a place, a farm to put their animal, they can still be part of 4-H and learn about those animals and learn all about the different breeds and what they eat and how to take care of them. And so a lot of that is learning about responsibility and all of the great things that come with taking care of an animal.
Right. So now that's one of the things I love about 4-H is it gives kids something to focus on, to soak up that time, but also with that time they gain valuable experience in things like responsibility, like you talked about. So a lot of times as a leader or as a community leader, I don't mind what they're doing as long as they're in a program that's safe for them and that they can learn and take up their time. And I think 4-H does that. Mm-hmm. And I think you do a great job. Now, speaking of your great job, I want you to share with the viewers. Now, you were awarded was that the Allentown Fair, right?
Yes.
Explain what that award was, because it was quite an accomplishment.
Sure. So it was the 2017 Allentown Fair Friend of the Fair Award. And so each year, the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture joins with the fair to give an award to someone who contributes a lot of effort and time to help make the fair be successful and a great program. So I was awarded that this year. I was quite honored and surprised to be awarded that, but it was a great honor to be part of the program.
Right. We were all really excited because we all watch from our different positions, all the people that are associated with 4-H or that support 4-H. And we were all really happy to see that happen because we all know the time that you put into it. And I want to thank you for that. I appreciate that. So is there anything else with 4-H in general? I know I try to come to the program every year. One of the things that I like is there's all different types of things. And also, what are the people called? Are they mentored? What is the title? Is it called a mentor when you're the adult leader of a group?
So those we actually call 4-H leaders. They're volunteers, and that's how our 4-H program actually runs. So I coordinate most of it from my office. But we have volunteers, and in Lehigh County, we have over 100 volunteers who give their time to work with kids, to be their mentors, to be their leaders, to guide them and help them learn all of those great life skills that we're teaching in 4-H, but also teach them the project skills that they're interested in, whether it's about a garden, or it's about robots, or it's about how to raise a dog, or how to milk a cow, all of those things. Those volunteers give their time to do that. So they're the people that I recognize and give all the credit to for making this program be successful and giving their time to those kids and being great mentors in their lives.
Right. So many times I talk to people in the community who are over 18 years old, and they say to me, what can I do to be involved? What can I do to help? So with 4-H, people who want to be involved and get their children involved can do that. They can contact my office, and they can also contact 4-H either statewide or locally, and they'll get back to you. But also adults can contact you if they have particular skills, and then check to see. And I've heard throughout the years at all these banquets, I've heard people, I don't want to say making up, but groups that I never heard of. And then this year they're like, well, I decided to put this together. And so it's very flexible, I think, with a lot of opportunities in 4-H. And I just urge everybody that if you want to be involved and you want to help mentor our youth, that 4-H is a great structure to do that. Is that pretty much what you think as well?
That's exactly right. We welcome any volunteers who are interested, even if it's just for one night, they want to come and be a guest speaker because they know something about a particular topic, or they want to volunteer a little bit more of their time. We have all sorts of flexibility to give them opportunities to be part of our community and help those young people to give back to the community when they are older as well.
Right. Now, you had a small not a small organization, an organization of small kids.
Yes.
They were like the 4 and 5 year olds, or 5 and 6 year olds?
5, 6, and 7 year olds.
Yeah.
They're the 4-H Clover Buds.
Right.
And so in Lehigh County, we have a club called the Super Kids.
Okay.
And yes, we had invited you, and you
Right.
came out and talked to them, and they had a
Right.
great time.
We had a great time. And sometimes it's just sharing your knowledge of whatever your discipline is with a group like that. And that's a starter group to get them involved in getting used to coming to a meeting, being able to have all the classroom rules, sit quietly and listen attentively. But they're all great things that help develop the kids of our community. I'm State Representative Gary Day, and if you'd like any more information about 4-H, please contact my office. That information will be available during this program, and also you can just Google my name, Gary Day, State Representative, and my information will come up, and we'll put you in touch. Now, I also want to move over here and talk with Connor. Is that okay? Sure. We're going to go down and talk to Connor here. We're going to talk to Connor about. So Connor, what are you involved in? You're involved in 4-H, is that correct? Mm-hmm. So what do you like about 4-H?
Potato judging.
Yeah, potato judging. So you're out here today, and one of the things that you do is, one, you learn how to grow potatoes. Have you done that before?
No.
No, you haven't. Oh, you do.
We're not a farmer.
But you do grow potatoes, and you've learned to do that, so you understand a little bit about that. But most importantly, what you're doing is out here today, you've been trained to be a judge. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Now, at the Agricultural Society in Allentown, running the Allentown Fair, have a show. They do that here at the Pennsylvania Farm Show as well, where products are brought out here and then judged for how well they were grown. So you're being trained to become one of those judges. Is that right? What do you like best about judging potatoes?
I think it's fun because you get to go learn more stuff. You get to go learn about crops. Because someday I might want to be a farmer, and I might want to be a potato farmer. And you need to know this stuff when you're
trying to do that stuff,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So let's turn around and look at some of these potatoes here. Pick up one of these potatoes and show me, what have you learned? Let me hold this for you. You use the potato, and show me, what are you looking for in one of these potatoes as a judge?
Like, I'm looking for, it shouldn't have all these. It shouldn't have, because this is misshapen. Because you can't peel this.
Okay,
you
that
can't
makes
peel
sense.
it. So
the shape is one thing we're looking for. Are we looking for a perfectly round potato or an
No.
Oval? What are we looking for?
We're looking for, like,
Pick one up that looks like a good shape.
this is a good shape. This one doesn't have a lot of, like, it's not like this one.
Right. You can't get in there and peel that, right?
Uh-uh.
Right.
You can peel this one, and this one, it doesn't have a lot of defects. It's not like a bad potato. See, like this one, it's not the best potato because it's all, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The skin's different than those other ones.
Yeah.
So pick up the best potato here, the best looking one from your judging skills. Let's bring that over here. Or pick up, is that, no?
This one looks okay.
Okay. So one of the things is shape so that it can be peeled right. What are the other things you're looking for besides shape? We talked about skin, the skin quality, right? What
Yeah.
else do you look for as a judge?
Like you look for like that was misshapen, but there's another one that has, it's like the potato is growing, but then there's another potato on it.
Oh, okay.
That's second growth.
Okay.
And then if it has like,
Is that good because then you have two potatoes or no?
no, it's
No,
not good.
because you can't peel it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I understand.
And you don't want it to be cut like the disc harrow if it cut
Right.
it or someone cut it with a knife. You don't want that. And you don't want like, I don't know how to say. You don't want it to be like real little, like
Okay.
real tiny.
Right, right, right. And there's one other thing I wanted to ask you about. What is an eye on a potato? What is that?
It's
Is there one on this potato?
I think,
Usually it's kind of like like an indentation?
yeah.
And what is that? Can you explain? There's one sticking out here on the end.
That's not an eye.
That's
but
not an eye. That's
That's
like a stem.
yeah. This is like a bad. You can't. This is a bad one.
That's a bad one.
Yeah, because see this, it's different. Like that one, it's
Okay.
different shades.
Okay.
We're only looking for white potatoes.
Did you learn anything in your judging about how a farmer splits a potato to make seeds for next year? Did they teach you any of that? So most of the judging is, here's the potato and what makes it a good potato to sell. Is that correct? Okay. Here, let me give you this back. Let me take this potato. Connor, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for being involved in 4-H because you make it a strong 4-H program. I really appreciate all the work that you do, and I appreciate that you're out here being trained, now you've been being trained for a while, but training yourself to become a judge so that you can help other people that are showing their potatoes and whatever else people become judges in. It's a great thing to strengthen the Pennsylvania Farm Show and also our fairs across Pennsylvania. So I want to thank you for being on the program today. Good to see you. You're a great judge. Look into the camera there and say goodbye to everybody with me.
See ya.
See you later. I'm State Representative Gary Day. Thanks for watching this program, and stay tuned. We've got a few more things to show you at the Pennsylvania Farm Show.
Pennsylvania agriculture is diverse. That diversity is our strength. Over 58,000 farms in the state, with nearly 500,000 working in agriculture. Seeding Pennsylvania's economy with tens of billions of dollars. A top 5 producer in the nation with more than 10 agricultural commodities. It is intertwined in our communities. The fabric of Pennsylvania. Each strand unique, each contributing to agriculture and to our Commonwealth.
Hey everybody, we're at the Pennsylvania Farm Show, and where we are now is the Junior Market Hogs. What they are is people come in, show their hogs, and then I think it's the top 5 get sold tomorrow. So they have an auction tomorrow, and they sell the top 5, and the way they decide who's the top 5 is they have judging. So you might be able to see over my shoulder, but I'm up above looking down over where the judging is going on right now. And what that happens there are people actually come in, usually the people who raise the animals. A lot of them you'll see young kids, and you'll see young men and women, they're showing their animal. You'll see them guide the animal around the ring, trying to get the animal to stand up straight, trying to get it to walk properly and show off its size, its girth, and how good it would be for auction, and how good of a specimen that animal is. In this case, we have judges. Some judges are from Pennsylvania, some are from outside the area, but they have judges that come in, and then we have a judge down here who's very explicit in explaining what they're doing. So in a few minutes, we're going to go down and let you hear and see exactly what these judges are looking for. So I thought it would be really great for this program for you to hear directly from the judges what they're looking for, and it gives you a better answer in the question of what exactly is going on here in this arena with the Junior Market Show. So I'm State Representative Gary Day, and why don't we go down and give you a chance to hear from the judges themselves.
There's one of them in particular that I sent her to the pen pretty quick because she's tall-shouldered, she's good-looking, she's got muscle, she's square-built and sound. Kind of hard to beat when they're built like that. Young man in the pink shirt, you're going to win this particular drive. I think from there we got more give and take, if you will, in terms of fighting for second. You got a bear here on the far side that is really, really raw and genuine in terms of his muscular shape up high. He's square and true to the base of his skeleton. I'd like to give him more arch and curvature and crack there to the center part of his cage. Young lady's black hog here, the white-footed black one, is one that also has a great big back and a great big end working in him. For me, though, I want to change the way he's shaped at his knee, square him up there, make him bigger chested. That's where this bear's got the advantage, and that's where this one's going to be second. Young lady, like I said, great big cage, good-looking kind of bear, just needs to be more genuine when he comes right at me. Young man's Gilton 4 is one I think is super unique in terms of her skull, her stoutness of feature, her spread and dimension up high. But here's one that's probably seen just a touch more wear and tear in terms of her feed bucket. She gets a little drier and harsher there through the center part of her cage. Make her fleshier, give her more flesh in center cage there. That one gets really, really unique. Young lady's Gilt coming out here in 5 is one that's got a ton of muscle, ton of bulk and spread. She gets too vertical and upright in terms of her blade and knee. I'd want to rock her back there, make her more comfortable, give her more reach and flex. And as we work on down the line, really, really good set of market hogs. Just need more shape, dimension to drive up their endpoint value and give them just a little more competitiveness relative to a pretty good class.
One other thing I wanted to talk to you about while I'm out here at the Pennsylvania Farm Show. Right across the street, the Department of Agriculture has the veterinary lab, and that lab is used to protect our food supply in Pennsylvania and our agricultural industry. The way it does it is when there's a disease that comes through, say like avian bird flu comes through, something like that would come through Pennsylvania, we have to diagnose that quickly. So when birds are dying, or chickens or something like that is dying, and really they do it with any animals, they find out what is the cause. And if they find out what the cause is, they can intervene early and stop the spread throughout the rest of that farm and also through other farms in Pennsylvania. So it's a vital intervention practice that the lab does, and it's really important. And we have a little bit more information for you to view on that. Things like CWD that could go through our deer herd if it comes more into Pennsylvania. Things like that are very important to farmers and hunters, and that's what the lab does. Stay tuned, we have a little bit more information about that lab.
Before you walk through the door on your visit to the Pennsylvania Farm Show, take a look across the street. The Pennsylvania Veterinary Lab is what you'll see. The lab is part of the Pennsylvania Animal Diagnostic Laboratory System, which also includes the Penn State Animal Diagnostic Lab and Penn's New Bolton Center. While each has a specialty, all three perform the same basic functions.
One, if animals become ill, and so the laboratories help to diagnose problems, whether it be infectious or whether it be toxicological. And so animals, when they become ill, or farms have problems across herds or flocks, then those problems are identified, and then the farmer and his veterinarian can help to solve the problem. The other major role that the laboratories serve is a sort of a quality assurance or infectious disease control. So if animals have to be exported across state lines or across international borders, the laboratory assures that those animals are free of disease and they can be sold safely to other consumers.
Chronic wasting disease, avian flu, rabies, and foot and mouth disease are some of the diseases most commonly tested for and diagnosed at the lab. By finding and eradicating them, the lab is helping farmers and consumers.
One of the real challenges with agriculture today is to make agriculture sustainable and efficient. And so disease limits the productivity, disease is a welfare concern, and so by keeping animals healthy, it's very valuable for Pennsylvania in that it keeps our farmers productive and profitable. At the same time, by keeping animals efficient and minimizing disease, that minimizes the impact that they have on the environment. It becomes a win-win-win situation. The other part of that is we are very concerned about food safety, pathogens, bacteria and viruses, and or toxins that may be in the food. And so by being active in screening for those types of undesirable qualities, we are assured the public that the very highest quality of food leaves Pennsylvania farms to enter the market.
The lab has earned a number of accreditations and certifications that speak to the quality of the facility, the soundness of its practices, and the capabilities of its employees. Lab Director Dr. Tiwari details one of the designations.
This laboratory is also one of the 14 National Animal Health Lab Network laboratories that operate at a Tier 1 level. What Tier 1 level means is that not alone that we would be providing testing services for our own state in a case of epidemic of disease where major casualties happen in animal population, but we'll be helping out other states in the surrounding area. And that credential is vested on us based upon our expertise, the equipment, the building, and the people that are part of the lab system.
The team is also constantly working to shorten the turnaround on test results so that a diagnosis can be given and the farmer and vet can begin treating the sick animal more quickly. Supported in part by state tax dollars, the lab is an investment in safeguarding people from infectious diseases, providing safe food, and improving animal health.
I go and look at many other diagnostic labs. And we are very unique in Pennsylvania. We're blessed to have an institution like this. 3 different laboratories working as one lab system, and we test close to more than 500,000 samples a year in assuring that the animals are healthy, they're producing safe food for our consumption every day.
Hey everybody, with me right now is Beverly Gruber. Bev, can you tell them the different position that you hold in Allentown and also the position you hold at the farm show?
At the farm show, I am the farm products coordinator. I work with 14 different areas. At Allentown, I'm president of the Allentown Fair, but what I do to make a living for all these fun things I do is I work for the Pennsylvania Campground Owners Association.
Okay, and I understand in that role, you're going to be testifying at a hearing about rural broadband. Broadband is internet service and other services, but think about that as broadband is internet service and rural is outside of the populated areas of Pennsylvania. Is that correct?
That's correct. We have quite a few campgrounds in Pennsylvania, of course, that are in rural areas. And in these areas, the campgrounds are having a terrible time. Used to be when somebody called to go to a campground and spend a weekend, they asked, do you have a swimming pool? Now that's not what they ask. They ask, do you have Wi-Fi? And then this meeting here on Thursday will talk about that and how the rural areas. One example is a campground that had to spend about $89,000 to bring in Wi-Fi so that they could have it. And not only does it have to do with people wanting to run half a dozen devices at each campsite. It also has to do with the office being able to get it. So many reservation systems now are cloud-based, and those cloud-based reservation systems cannot operate unless you have a good Wi-Fi system.
So that seems like a very important thing, and you're going to be testifying about the need for rural broadband. Is that right? And you're going to be talking. Are there any solutions proposed now, or are we still in the stage of just identifying that there's a problem?
We're just identifying there's a problem. The Pennsylvania State Grange has put this program together. It really isn't a testimony. It's more just filling in everybody on the different areas and how it affects people.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you again for all your service to the Allentown Fair, the Pennsylvania Farm Show, and also participating in gathering information that's needed for Pennsylvanians across the state. My job before I was a state representative, I worked for a cable company, and we provided internet in many of the rural areas of Pennsylvania. But I know there's even more, much more rural areas of Pennsylvania that could use broadband service. So I thank you for that, being part of that, being part of the Farm Show, and being a good friend for so many years. Everybody, I just want to say, State Representative Gary Day here. I'm at the Pennsylvania Farm Show for 2018, and just want to thank you for watching this program. If you need any assistance on any issues, or if you saw anything in this video that you have questions about, please contact my office. You can call me and speak with somebody between 9 and 4:30 on most days, and you can also email me. That's very efficient for you to take time, write out your question, and we can very efficiently get back to you with the answer. All that information will be available on this program, so get a pen and paper and you'll be able to write down that information. I want to thank you again for watching this program. We were able to bring you a lot of information from the 2018 Pennsylvania Farm Show, and thank you very much for watching.